The Sunflower Fund, partnered by Dkms, is a donor recruitment center and stem cell registry that fights blood diseases like leukemia through the recruitment of stem cell donors. Now, this year, they will be hosting its Powered by Purpose online event to help fight blood disorders. The main purpose of the event is to raise funds towards those living with blood disorders. The event will also be a tool to create awareness about the types of blood disorders. But to tell us more, we joined via Zoom by renowned journalist and also host of the Powered by Purpose event, Iman Rappetti. Iman, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. It's such a beautiful morning here in Johannesburg, and it's a pleasure to be with you and your audience.
It certainly is, Iman, and great to have you back on the show. Now, take us through what Powered by Purpose is and how you became a part of it.
Some people, there's so much around us in terms of the suffering of people or the opportunities of other people to help. And so this is such a brilliant organization to get involved with. Since its founding in 2020 years on, they've done so much good work in connecting people who are in need of bone marrow transplants, stem cell transplants with donors, and they've saved so many lives. So it just made sense that I get on board and be able to use my platform to spread the message around stem cell research. The campaign is in its 17th year. As you said, for the first time, they're going digital. And it's going to be such an incredible event because it is intended to raise money, but also those who will log in on the morning of the 12th of November at 11 a.m. and you just buy your ticket. They're between 99 Rand and 150 Rand. And you can be part of this amazing event with some really fantastic speakers, some people like one of our own renowned, globally respected explorers, Rian Mansa. So it's going to be a morning of inspiration, but it'll also be a morning of activism in a sense of just connecting us with remembering what the purpose of the organization is and why it's so important that we get people to donate their stem cells.
And one important thing about this particular organization is that, it maintains a patient support fund to sort of assist patients who are unable to afford costs that are associated with getting to transplant, as well as being actively involved in creating a platform for support structures. For purposes of understanding the mandate of this organization and this event, Powered by Purpose, what are the current stats in South Africa in terms of the number of people who are living with blood disorders?
So as far as we know, each year, 35 people in every million will learn that they have a blood disease, and 5 of those will be children. And given the rarity of the disease, but given the massive impact, and as you said, diseases like these know no class, they know no race necessarily, they know nothing about who you are. They infect you, and so particularly those people who are from lower income backgrounds may struggle to have access to good care. So when you go to your Pick and Pay and you see these buffs, these tubes of hope, or topes as they call them, for sale, the proceeds of those sales go towards helping patients like the ones you mentioned who would ordinarily fall outside of the scope of care. So given the infection rates, given the lack of support, this is where the Sunflower Fund's work becomes really important, because it allows the sales of these products and fundraising events like the one we're having, enables us to recruit blood stem cell donors. And also it does the long-term work of trying to find a cure for patients who are diagnosed with life-threatening blood diseases like your leukemia, sickle cell diseases, and several other ones. So it is really an important drive, and we want all South Africans, even if you aren't able to stay for the whole event, at least just log in, purchase a ticket, and let the proceeds go to this important fund.
And how has the funding of the Sunflower Fund impacted on inpatient support?
So as I said, they launched in 2000. They've got, I think by last count, 76,000 donors in South Africa. And the amount that they've spent on inpatient support to help families with expenses is around 3 million Rand so far. The partnership that you talk about with Dkms, and of course they're an international non-profit organization, they're also dedicated to fight against blood cancer and disorders. They are the largest network of donor centers in the world. You know what I'm just going to say, though, because some people would think this is, such a rare thing. We know how to donate blood. That seems fairly easy. When you hear stem cells, you think, oh my gosh, it's really out there and a science that we don't know too much about. But you can become a stem cell donor or a bone marrow donor by joining the blood stem cell registry. So thousands of people around the world need access to these stem cells, they need access to the bone marrow. And so to be on this registry means that you can help people in South Africa, you can help people on the continent, but you can also help people around the world. So it's also called a stem cell transplant, as I mentioned. And I've learned a lot of science since becoming an ambassador for Hope Imperium. It's called a hematopoietic stem cell transplant. There are some restrictions, so not everybody can become a donor. So even though your heart's in the right place, it may not be that you would be the right candidate. So you've got to go and check your eligibility. I think you have to be between the ages of 18 and 55. And you also need to not have ever used things like steroids or had particular diseases. So go on the website and have a look at what the restrictions are. But if you want to be a donor, it's very, very easy. And if you pass all the eligibility tests, all you have to do is get in touch with the Sunflower Fund, request a swab kit, complete the swab, they will courier it to you, and then you can send it back. Once it's been analyzed and you're approved and you're part of the registry, they will do all of that analysis. And this is what you can do to make sure that people who need your stem cells, who need your bone marrow, are able to access it, and you can save a life.
And I suppose then there are so many ways, Iman, of just lending a hand in the mandate of the Sunflower Fund. I mean, if I'm not eligible to be a stem cell donor, obviously there's other ways that I can just lend a helping hand to this particular organization. How do I go about doing that?
Well, like I said, I mean, and plus we're in the times of COVID, so I think their buffs that they've been selling, or that Pick n Pay's allowed them to sell over these, or subsidize the sale of over the last many years, is something that's very necessary. Buy those buffs, just, fold them over maybe once or twice so that you meet the requirements of your COVID protection. So that's one way, because all the proceeds go to assist the fund in being able to spread the message, to do its fundraising, and also to help those families. But you can also do it through supporting some of their events. If you go on their Facebook page, you will see a series of events, whether it is teas or lunches, or even if you just want to donate, your money will go a long way to saving and prolonging people's lives and increasing the quality of their lives. There's still a lot of work we need to do in terms of searching for a cure, but every single bit helps. And if you can't help with a large amount of money, whatever you have, we'll take it. Thank you very much.
Right. Now, the Sunflower Fund has partnered with Dkms. How did this partnership come about?
I think, first of all, it's just a marriage of common purpose. And they've needed, sort of a flagship supporter. As you know, any organization, especially ones that are dealing with medical research and medical support, need partnerships of organizations that are also in the field for a long time. And as I mentioned, Dkms is the largest network of donor centers in the world. Would you believe, Simpiwe, they have 10 million registered blood stem cell donors.
Wow.
So in the Sunflower Fund, plugging into that network, we also bring the network that we have in South Africa of available donors. And it just basically allows the world to become smaller in terms of immediately accessing those who might be compatible and dispatching and connecting them with the opportunity for those transplants and for those donations. And Dkms, as I said, is an international non-profit organization, and they are dedicated to the fight against blood cancer and other blood disorders.
All right, Iman, great chatting to you. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. Hey.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Well, that was Iman Rappetti talking to us about the Powered by Purpose event set to raise funds and bring awareness about blood disorders.